Trimless is with us. I can make Brandon smile though. Smile, Brandon. Hello, mate. Hey, there it is. Connor. A poor night tonight overall result-wise. What do you think went wrong for Arsenal in your opinion, mate?
All the players completely let everyone down today. Lack of intensity, lack of threat, complete shell of ourselves compared to what we were against Real Madrid. And I was shocked by tonight because that wasn't the performance I was expecting to see. As soon as that first, even before the first goal went in, team looked deflated. Didn't look bothered, actually, in a sense for me. They looked very, like this didn't feel like a Champions League semi-final to them. Like it was just a Premier League game against a 15th or lower side team to play against. No intensity whatsoever. To quickly break it down, because I know obviously all the boys want to have some points of their own. I mean, the goal in itself was just... I thought it would have at least been a wake-up call if we were to concede first, but that clearly wasn't the case because we were still a shell of ourselves as soon as that goal went in. Very good goal, by the way. Fair play to Ousmane Dembele, back on the score sheet after 5 or 6 games not scoring. So fair play to him. Good goal. No response. The crowd went up for it tonight. Now, do I put that down to the fact that the team weren't playing good football, so the crowd went up for it? Or was it the fact that the crowd just... It was a Wednesday night. They're a bit tired from work. I don't know. But the crowd, in my opinion, but I wasn't there, so I won't give them too much stick. But I felt it very much let us down today. In terms of the defence, that's probably the first game I've seen Yuri and Timber get absolutely spun. Kvaratskhelia absolutely destroyed him. And what a player. When he went past both Saliba, Timber, and I don't know if it was Kivior or someone else, I just thought, wow, elite player, as I knew anyway, but fantastic player. Completely done in Timber. Saliba made some all right tackles. Him and Kivior were a mess, though, in terms of defence. All over the place. Didn't really know what to do in the moment. Lewis Skelly was all right. Nothing crazy. The midfield. This man right here is the only one that can walk off that pitch with his head held high. He was doing the jobs of Mikel Merino and Martin Odegaard tonight. He had to, if you noticed why we had a lot of gaps in our 6 where he was meant to be, there was a gap, always a gap. Do you know why? Because he had to do Mikel Merino's job and he had to do Martin Odegaard's job as well. Completely nothing to offer in the midfield tonight. Absolutely zilch. Sideways passing, back way. Just nothing to offer us going forward. And to talk about Saka, did something happen in training that we don't know about? Because I don't know what happened to him tonight. Yes, he made the odd run going forward, but not pressing, no form of urgency from him tonight. I saw him walking when Nuno Mendes had the ball. No intensity to go get the ball off him whatsoever. Trossard had an opportunity. So Donnarumma, by the way, I want to make it clear. All these people saying, oh, Donnarumma's this, Donnarumma's that. I think he silenced a lot of people tonight. Oh, he's only good at penalties. I think he was easily their man of the match tonight for me. There was a lot of good players at PSG, but for me, he was their man of the match tonight. Fantastic. And Martinelli, silent as well. I think everyone apart from Declan Rice was a shell of themselves tonight and don't deserve any form of credit for tonight. But I do want to touch on one player. And I'm sorry, it is going to get me a bit heated in a minute. I can already see Sard looking at the camera. I want to talk about Martin Odegaard. We're having Mikel Merino creating more chances than him tonight. I thought he's meant to be the leader. The fact that I'm even hearing commentary talk about Declan Rice and his Arsenal boys. I thought was Martin Odegaard the captain? Isn't he the leader? Isn't he the one taking charge? Declan Rice is leading the huddles. He's orchestrating everything. This guy isn't a leader. He's not. He's useless. Sideways passing, backways passing. No form of trying to get the ball forward. Trying to lay off something for Saka, but then even when Saka did have the ball, nothing to create. Shell of himself today, absolutely. And do you know what? I'm not Mikel Arteta's biggest fan, but I can't blame him today. And that might be whoa, Connor, what are you talking about here? For me, the players let us down today. What other team could have Mikel Arteta put out there today? Maybe Zinchenko over Trossard to put Merino up front. But I can't say, listen, I don't like Mikel Arteta. I'm not his biggest fan. But I've got to look at it in a sense of that wasn't the team that played against Real Madrid. What was that today? That wasn't a team that walked out looking ready for a semi-final. It was an absolute disgrace, Terry, and it just... it blows my mind. The one time I was positive about this team and I wanted to win, and I thought, you know what, we're going to go into this game, we're going to win. And the one time they let me down, and it's just classic. And listen, Tara, I know you made a comment, which is very true. The tie isn't over. But for me, the tie is over because I know this football club and I know what they're like. And I knew from the minute we conceded that goal and it got to about 15 minutes, and you are right, Terry, we did have from around the 30th minute to maybe the good part of the first part of the second half, we were progressing the ball forward. We were looking like we were creating something, but nothing came off the end of it. PSG defended extremely well. The midfield, by the way, for them was fantastic today. Doué was doing great things. Really talented young kid there. A lot of talent. But on the basis of it, just an absolute shit show. And I think the tie's over. I think as soon as we go to Paris, as soon as we concede the first goal, because I think we're going to concede first over there, the tie will be done. It was meant to be us taking control tonight, having a lead, going to Paris and trying to get to the final from there. We completely ruined it tonight. We're not coming back from it. I don't care if we're 1-0 down. Have a bit of a wake-up call. Get off the copium. It is done tonight. This was the night to make a stand. We had all the PR videos, Arteta doing his little Don Robbie speech. We had all the little bits and pieces to make this the most PR'd experience possible. Didn't work tonight, fellas. How this team went, and this is what I mean about Arsenal. How can we beat the current European champions twice and then do this? This is why we get memed as a club. It's as simple as that. Because this is what the players do to us as a fan base. They let us down. They do things like this. But my boy Declan Rice, only one that can walk off with his head held high tonight. Completely. That's a leader. That's a captain. And he should be given the armband next season. That's my rant over.
There's a super chat here that kind of goes towards yourself, so I wanted to put it up. It says, it's only 1-0. What the F is this Gooner overreacting about? Lost one game and scream Arteta out. On the game, Odegaard needs to hand that captain's badge to Rice. We had no subs. Arteta ain't at fault. I mean, you kind of echo quite a lot of what you've said. In fact, maybe he's watching a little bit further back, but you're the only Gooner that spoke. I wanted to ask you a quick question about the crowd. When everyone mentions the word Champions League heritage or European heritage, I feel like the word's been, it's a buzzword and it's been used to a point where some people don't make it even make sense. I've always felt the crowd are a part of that, knowing how to handle these situations. And what I felt tonight was the Arsenal crowd didn't know how to handle going that goal behind. Does that make sense? Because it took, I watched maybe the last 30 minutes of the build-up of the game. It was a raucous atmosphere. You could hear it. I was watching it. The sun was out. I was like, oh, this could be a good night tonight. That goal went in. And I would say for the next 30 minutes, it was like someone had been shot. And I just sometimes feel a little bit like, I'm not calling your fans out specifically, but sometimes when you've been in these occasions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, maybe your fan base can handle it a little bit better. They know, right, it's fine. It's not going to be a problem. We'll stay behind the boys. And yeah, I was just as a viewer, not for the game, because the atmosphere always makes it more enjoyable at home. So for me, that's why I was a little bit frustrated, because I wanted some atmosphere.
Terry, if you look at the Madrid game, we took the lead and the crowd was up for it. I completely agree. Yeah, the crowd didn't know how to react to the goal down. But come on, it's 3 minutes in, guys. Come on. Like it's not like we're 85th minute, 1-0, okay, right, that's stung us. We're 3 minutes in. And it's just silence.
I think there's an element you guys ain't really looking at here, right? Surely you've got to credit PSG for that. Yeah, because after the goal happened, for the good 20 minutes afterwards, we couldn't get the ball off them. Yeah, they recycled the ball really well, moved the ball around the midfield really well, 1 touch, 2 touch, things that Arsenal should have been doing. Yeah. The reason why I side with Connor a little bit and saying that the tie is over is because of what we see in that second half. Now, people will look at that and go, well, Arsenal controlled little spurts of the game. We had 1 or 2 opportunities that we maybe should have done better with. PSG, scored us from minute 1 to minute 95 tonight because they knew as soon as that goal goes in, what did PSG do that Real Madrid didn't? They sat back and they said, cool, what have you got to break us down, Arsenal? Because we've seen Arsenal multiple times over the last 3 seasons struggle to break down teams that sit in a low block. I'm not saying that PSG sat specifically in a dirty low block, but they knew when to defend and when they could hit us on the counter-attack. And let's just be real about it, right? we should have lost that 3-0 tonight. They should have put their chances away. Yes, we had one or two ourselves, but I'm so dejected and I'm embarrassed about tonight. And then players should feel embarrassed about tonight. Going into the game, you know, I think we all predicted the lineup. I wasn't surprised by the lineup. I thought it was the correct lineup. However, this is where I have a problem with people when they say it's not Mikel Arteta's fault. It is clear to see it is not fucking working. Make some changes. Yes, we don't have the top class players coming off the bench. Like, you know, we haven't got a Barcola coming off the bench. We haven't got a Ramos coming off the bench. But you've got to do something different when you see that, especially in the midfield, we are getting absolutely outworked and outclassed. And you're absolutely right, Connor. Declan Rice is the only one in that midfield. The amount of times I watch PSG get the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch passing, and I'm thinking they make another one and they're in. Where the fuck's the midfield? What is Martin Odegaard doing? What is Mikel Merino doing? What the fuck was Timber doing tonight? I don't know if he's got an injury or what.
Shocking.
And I'm not gonna get on his case because, to be fair to him, since he's come into this Arsenal side, he has been, you know, 9 out of 10 performances pretty much every single week.
Can I be fair to Timber can I be fair to Timber as an outsider and just say he was up against, in my opinion, one of the best wide players in the world in Kvaratskhelia, and he just gave him a night that, listen, how you all know how good Ashley Cole was, but every now and then Cristiano Ronaldo put him on toast, because it happens when you go up against the best.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I totally agree. Kvaratskhelia is one of the best wingers in the league. But what I mean by Timber being useless tonight is, even when he got the ball, he couldn't control the ball. He didn't pass. He didn't pass it. Every time he got the ball, he gave it away. I was looking at him thinking, what's going on with you? You must be injured or something, because normally he's a lot better on the ball. He's a lot better at making forward runs. He's a lot better at helping Saka out on that right-hand side. Tonight, he was absolutely useless, pathetic, right? Mikel Merino, I don't want to see him in the Arsenal midfield ever again. Yeah, because that is your position. You should know that position. We give you excuses for, you know, dropping poor performances in the 9 because that's not your position. So we expect that. But in the midfield, he was absolutely terrible tonight. Absolutely terrible tonight, right? And I look on this now, I just think these players ain't up for it. This manager isn't up for it. He got it wrong tonight, right? And even the best managers in world football get it wrong sometimes. But you have to do something in the game to change it. And far too often I see from Mikel Arteta that he doesn't do things quick enough to change things up. He's waiting until the 75th minute to bring on a single sub, and he only did that because he thought Timber was injured. You give him 5 minutes to Ethan Nwaneri after watching Martin Odegaard once again drop an absolute fucking stink bomb. Yeah? This guy, the less said about him, the better. He should not be at Arsenal Football Club. Why? Because he cannot handle the occasion. He cannot handle being the captain. He is a complete and utter pussy. Yeah? And I'll say it again. Pussy. Get the
But he's not the only bad player, Brandon. There's a lot of other people around him, you know.
He's not the only bad player tonight, Connor. You're absolutely right. But I am absolutely fed up and
he was
sick
being
and tired
sarcastic,
of seeing
actually.
this
I was being
same
sarcastic.
shit from this fucking guy week in, week out. He's had a poor season this season, right? But it happens. Sometimes players have poor seasons. The least I expect now is you, as the captain of the football club, to show us something. Show us something. Instead, you're walking around the pitch. You're looking at Bukayo Saka, who, you're right, wasn't pressing in the same way that he has done, right? But I'm watching Martin Odegaard telling everybody else what to do. How about you fucking do something for a change? How about you step up to the plate, yeah, as the captain of the football club, grab the game by the scruff of the neck and fucking do something for a change? I'm fed up with the guy. I've had enough, yeah? So, are we going to go out of the Champions League? Possibly. But let me tell you now, right? Any Arsenal fan who was sitting prior to all of this saying, oh, Thomas Partey's getting on a little bit, 200 grand a week, should we give him a new contract? That's why we should be giving him a new contract. He is easily our best midfielder, and we missed him massively tonight. Massively.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. On Odegaard staying on the pitch, well, I agree with you. He should have come off so much sooner. But I also thought when Eri got 5 minutes, in that 5 minutes, you almost scored, and he made an impact. And I'm sitting there looking at it again. You bring him on with 20 minutes to go, fresh legs, a man who can beat someone. He's got a wicked left foot. There was that moment. I mean, maybe you should have waited for the free kick, but he almost had that ball fall to him, and he would have buried that chance, in my opinion. But he had 5 minutes. Imagine giving him 25 minutes.
Yeah. Can I just add one more thing as well, Tel, right? You mentioned about Declan Rice prior to the game saying, in the little huddle saying, oh, if we don't have the ball, we die kind of thing. We didn't keep the ball anywhere near good enough tonight.
No.
The amount of times I was watching our goalkeeper kick it long, I haven't seen Arsenal kick it long that many times for a very, 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 very long time. Trossard as well. I'm going to point Trossard out as well, right? Because that guy also needs to leave the football club. How are you taking 5, 6, 7, 8 touches? Is it not clear to see that in order to break down a low block, you have to move the ball quickly? Why the fuck are you trying to keep hold of it like that? And then slowing everything down. I don't understand what we was doing tonight. I really, really don't. Yeah. Every single one of them players, barring Declan Rice, like Connor said, should hang their heads in shame. And they better perform a lot better than that in France. Because if they don't, they don't.
No.
Yeah, a massive, massive improvement is needed.